So obviously I tweeted out this morning. Those of you guys that follow me on Twitter, you saw this. Okay, so what exactly is going on? Bitcoin is at 32,000 right now, 32,061, and it was a little bit lower, hitting 31,000 earlier today, right? And some of you guys may have lost your way, or you're trying really, really, really hard to ignore or resist the temptation of selling because maybe you weren't convinced all along that Bitcoin or Ethereum or all these other crypto were worth holding on to in the beginning at all. Maybe you FOMO'd in. Maybe you heard other people talk about it and you thought it was a good idea to invest, right? And during these hard times, it's really hard to ignore the temptation to basically give up and panic sell, right? I get it. Right now, you're probably feeling struggles. Maybe you have cried a little bit. It feels painful, especially from peer pressure from your spouse, from your family, from other people that are just talking about how Bitcoin is in a bear market, how it's going to go lower. And every time you look at your portfolio now, you probably have felt some pain, right? I get it. I've been through it. Many other people have as well. But if you put in the work, you have the discipline, the obedience, the conviction and faith that some of us have developed over the years because we know what we're invested in. We know what Bitcoin is really all about, and we know what Ethereum and all these other crypto are all about, then you will not be persuaded to get off the path. You will not give up on trying to become that person you want to be, which is a financially free person, someone that has financial freedom, right? So do not give in. Do not give in. We will pass. We will pass this. Now, this morning, we have a lot more FUD. I've been talking about FUD, and every single day, the media gives more FUD because this is what drives people. This is how you emotionally wreck people, by showing them the absolutely worst thing that can happen. You're fearing them to death, basically, and it works because people click and view and start believing. This is why you need to have that obedience. You need to keep in mind that you control your future, not what anyone else says or does. They do not control your future. You do. You do. Right? So this morning, you have headlines like this: Bitcoin's terrible run. Not only is that a horrible headline, but it isn't over yet. Okay? So, of course, these kind of headlines do not help. Here we go. Another one. Bitcoin extends losses, falling below $32,000. Okay. And talks about U.S. seizes most of the colonial ransom again, making Bitcoin look like it's only used for ransomware, but not for anything else. And then, of course, you do have traditional headlines from Cointelegraph saying that, hey, 19,000 is really the support. So we have a lot more to fall from 32,000. And here's another one, how, Bitcoin will fall to 25,000, right? So there's a lot out there. It's a lot to take in. It really is, especially if you haven't been in the game for quite some, or let's say, for quite some time, or if you're in the game for only a few months. This is really, really hard to bear. I know that. But don't give up on the person that you're becoming, which is someone that is starting to invest the right way. Invest in the future. Invest in an ecosystem that is meant to replace what exists now. And that is centralized finance and the corruption of it and just everything tallied together. That is what crypto and Bitcoin is trying to change. So don't get swayed off the path. So let me show you When in doubt, I know right now, when in doubt, when Bitcoin is falling, people will again just say that this is the absolute worst thing that has ever happened to Bitcoin, and we haven't seen these levels forever. But guess what? We have. If you zoom out a little bit, we have seen levels this low before. Not years ago. Yes, just a month ago. We have seen 30,000. We have seen 31,000. So today's drop, although seems like it's the end of Bitcoin, no, we're still within that range, right? We haven't formed a new low yet. We haven't seen something that we haven't ever witnessed before. No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen, right? And I know that some of you guys just feel like this is the end for Bitcoin, right? That 64,000 is the end, and it's just not going to come up again. And we're in a bear market, and we're going to be in a bear market for the next 3 years, right? But then when you calm down, when you actually do the homework and you actually pay attention to what has happened before, you'll realize that, hey, if you zoom out, then you realize that this is not so bad. This is actually pretty normal. We have seen big dips like this before, where Bitcoin has shrugged off and continued on its way. It might take a while, but we have seen this before, and even during bull runs. You zoom in here, you see plenty of 30, 40% dips during a bull run, not during crypto winter. We have seen it before. And you have bigger indicators like stock to flow, or patterns, I should say, that is still saying we are on track. Logarithmic growth curve, we're still on track. So when you feel down, you feel like you're losing your way, you have this temptation to really just sell, because it seems like Bitcoin has lost its ways and that it's just going to fall to some unknown level or zero, let's say, what the naysayer would say, like Peter Schiff and guys and Norel or whoever, like they would like to say, hey, Bitcoins will go down to zero, and you're feeling that way. You know what? Step back and realize that this is normal. This is normal. We will get past this. No matter what anyone says, we will get past this. The future is very, very, very bright. And it's really not about what anyone else says. It's really not about what anyone else says. It's really what you believe in. Do you believe in Bitcoin and Ethereum and DeFi and the whole ecosystem? Do you believe in the projects that you're invested in? Step back and look at it. Do you believe DeFi will change centralized finance forever? Do you believe that Bitcoin is a better version of gold and it could be a great hedge against inflation? Do you believe in all these blockchains that are onboarding hundreds of dApps and getting funding into hundreds of millions and billions? Do you believe in that? If you do, then it doesn't matter what anyone else says. It really matters. All that matters is what you believe in, and you got to have that conviction and faith to hodl, to get through times like this. Okay, so you have the key. You have the key to your future. You know that private keys, public keys, of course, is very important in crypto. But honestly, look at the person that you're trying to become. You have the key to becoming that person. You control it. So it's really up to you. Do you want to continue the path and unlock the door to financial freedom and to becoming that person you want to be? Or do you want to just give up and really just listen to what everyone else says and leave and lose all that respect for yourself and become miserable afterwards? So you decide what the person that you want to become, right? So for me, I know there's a lot of fear out there. A lot of people that are trying to say, we're going to go much lower. This is a bear market. It's over. I'm not letting them dictate what I do. I will continue to hodl. I will continue to buy the dips. I will continue to invest in the projects I believe in, because I have seen this before. I have lived through this before. And it was much, much worse in 2018, 2019, 2020, when we were not in a bull market. We were in crypto winter, and those dips lasted forever, seemingly forever. But we got through it. We got through it together. Those people that follow me, they weren't Georges yet at the time, but they are Georges now because they put into work. They did their homework. And you know what? They developed the obedience, the conviction, the faith into holding and dollar cost averaging what they believe in. And those people are not scared right now. They are made people that have obtained financial freedom and life-changing wealth. So be one of those people. Be one of those people.